there, it's Debbie with the Pickin Coop Farmstead, and I'm going to show you how I hard boil my eggs. They're truly not hard boiled at all. We're going to steam the eggs. So farm fresh eggs, even store-bought eggs sometimes, are difficult to get the peel off without tearing up your egg, especially farm fresh eggs. So I'm going to go through the process, show you how I do that. I saw it somewhere and I apologize, I can't remember to who even give the credit to, but it is like a game changer. So let me show you what I use. Okay, so these are the things that I use. I use a very large pot. I only put so much water in it because you don't, and a colander. So this has a pretty big pedestal. So you don't want the water to go up to where the holes are. You really don't want the water bubbling up onto the eggs. Otherwise, it'll be the same process as boiling eggs. If you're doing a lot of eggs, you can actually do your pressure canner. You can put a whole bunch of eggs and set them in there, and it works quite well, especially if you're going to be pickling eggs or doing a whole bunch of eggs for Easter or who knows what. But these are the things that I use. And so the first thing that I like to do is, let me bring you over here and get you a little closer. There we go. I've got my farm fresh eggs, and I don't wash my eggs when I gather them because there is a thing called a bloom on them, and that's what helps them last for a very long time. So what I like to do, especially when I get a plethora of eggs or excess of eggs, I like to do the water test. So what you do is you just dunk them into a little bowl of water. If they sink, they're good. If they float, they're bad. So I'm going to continue to do that. So far, so good. Let's see. I'm going to do at least a dozen eggs. So far, so good. And I save, like my sister saves, a Costco Kirkland egg cartons for me. That way I never have to buy egg cartons. Okay, so all of our eggs are good to go, which I kind of do overkill on that. I knew they were going to be good, but I'm a freak, so I have to do that. Next thing I do is I bring them over to the sink, and I want to rinse them off with cold water. When you get any chicken poo or whatever happens to be on the eggs, make sure they're nice and clean, because I don't have to worry about the bloom because I'm cooking these guys. And bada bing, bada boom, there we go. Okay, now we are back over to our pot. I'm going to put my clean eggs that have been float tested inside of there. We want to make sure the water is most definitely not touching the bottom of the colander, which it is not. And then I'm going to put a lid on this. Bear with me. Okay, I'm one of those freaks that washes everything before they use it, even though they washed it before they put it away. So we've got our lid, our water, our eggs in the colander, the pot, and the lid. So I'm going to turn this on high until it starts steaming. Once it starts steaming, you're going to set your timer for, I set mine for 15 minutes. That's how I like. I don't like any raw, runny, gooey yolks. I like them dry and delicious. So bear with me, and when we get up to the steaming part, I'll tell you what goes on next. Okay, it doesn't take it very long to come up to the boil. As you can see, the steam is coming out over here, so then you want to turn it down to medium. And I start your timer. If you like your eggs less, then just experiment, see how you like them. But I like them right at 15 minutes. So then once that is up, we'll take you to the next step. Okay, it's been 15 minutes. I turned off the timer, turned off the stove. I'm gonna put this out of the way. Then you want to get yourself a container big enough to hold some ice, and then also the eggs that you've just steamed. So I put them on a bed of ice, and then I fill it up with cold water. And I use tongs because obviously these little guys are like super hot. Alright, then we're going to take these guys over to the sink, run some cold. Alright, cold water it is. And just fill that guy up. Okay, then you're going to let these sit for about 10 minutes. Alright, it's been 10 minutes in the icy cold water. So I have a bowl to put the cracked eggs in. This is what I'm going to use, this vintage Tupperware lettuce bowl. I also have my worm scrap bowl. I give them my eggshells. And so I'm just going to show you, hopefully, how easy this is. And it usually works almost all the time, not always. So I'll just take the fat bottom part of the egg, pop it on the sink, and then go around. And then we're just going to start at the first place. And usually the membrane, that's the part that tears your eggs up, comes off pretty darn easily with this. And you can actually peel it. There you go. Sometimes it just comes off in one big long strip. You still want to be gentle with them. You can't just tear it off. Then if you're having trouble, you can always swirl it in your water. And the water gets between the egg and the membrane and it just comes off. This one's trying to boss me around a little bit, but then I just rinse it, put it in my bowl, pop the end, and we'll do a couple more. Get that membrane, that's the part that's the bugger of the whole thing. And also what I like about this is when you cut these open, you don't have that grayish green line. So if you're making deviled eggs and that kind of stuff, it doesn't seem to mess with that. That one came out perfect. We'll do one more. And then after this, I'm going to make egg salad for the hubby's lunches. He loves egg salad. And this time of year, we get lots and lots of eggs. So, yeah, he loves it. And then I like to eat it instead of bread, because I try to do keto. It doesn't always work out for me. I just use celery sticks. I didn't crack this one very good. There we go. So yeah, it's make sure eggs, it just comes right off. Just like that. Right. Drop this little bugger in the sink. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna go do a crash course in making mayonnaise. Okay, so what I've got in my jar here, I've got one farm fresh egg, a half a cap full of lemon juice, a big pinch of salt, a squirt of mustard, and 1 cup of avocado oil. I have experimented around and I like using the avocado oil best just because it doesn't really taste like anything. I've tried using the extra light olive oil, and it still tastes like olive oil. This is the best. I absolutely love it. So you're going to put all your ingredients in a jar. I let them kind of sit there and meld for a little bit. You're going to need a stick blender. You could do it in a regular blender too, but this seems to be a lot easier. Then you're going to put your stick blender on the bottom of the jar, just like that. Turn it on and leave it at the bottom until you start seeing the mayonnaise forming. Once it starts forming really well, you just want to slowly move this up and down. So what you're looking for is you want all the oils mixed in really, really well. Then I give it a little taste. Make sure it has enough salt, which it does. If not, you can add a little more. Do a tiny pinch at a time. I use kosher salt because I like it better. And you can add, at this point, you could add garlic powder, paprika, fresh minced garlic. You could add herbs, whatever you like. Onion powder. I just do plain. That way I can put it in my egg salad, which is what I'm going to do today. But if you want to make a fancy, I believe it's called an aioli. It's the same thing, only it's just flavored mayonnaise, basically. But that's all there is to it. I'm going to blend this a few more seconds. Okay, so that's all there is to that. And then if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm going to finish peeling my eggs now that I've got my mayonnaise ready. And then I have some homemade sweet pickle relish that turned out really good. I made it last summer. It's super good. I'm going to add that with some chopped celery. And then I might add a little bit of onion. I'm not really sure. But anyways, so I hope y'all are having a good day and the sun is shining where you are, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.